Ron Kruck with Superbook Sports, gearing up for the NFL Wild Card Weekend. 6 big games with the winners moving on, of course, and those losers going home. Well, there was nothing funny about the season that the Texans, the Bears, and of course, my beloved Broncos had. But what is funny is my guest today, comedian Kevin Gootee. Kevin, welcome to the show. We're great. We're really glad to have you on, man.
Ron, thanks for having me. You know what also was funny? Drafting Russell Wilson in the 7th round of my fantasy league. And surprisingly enough, I managed to outlast the suckiness of Russ and made it to the finals, but lost.
What? That's insane.
Yeah,
congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't use Russ. I sat him on the bench where he belongs and started Jared Goff along the way, and he did very well. So, but yeah, Russ drafted early, and he bit me right in the ass. That one hurt.
Well, I'll make sure that I get you the Russell Wilson Broncos jersey here from Denver. You expect that very soon. I got to say, my fantasy football season ended in my super flex league where you can start 2 quarterbacks. It ended on draft night when I decided to go with the old man, Tom Brady, over Jalen Hurts. And that kind of put an end to things.
Ooh, if you had Brady, if you made it to the end, though, he would have blown up for you Super Bowl weekend. It never misses, right? Right, Ron?
Exactly. Of course, he blows up in the Super Bowl weekend, and that's what he does. But I was far from gone, so it didn't matter. But Kevin, give us a little idea of your 2 shows that you do. You're a big fantasy football guy with Fantasy Football Jibber Jabber and Gutting the Sacred Cow podcast. I mean, how do you not love that?
Well, how do you not love a podcast that's completely different than any other movie podcast out there, Ron? What we do is we invite other stand-up comics or podcasters, or we even had a few adult film stars, a little Randy talk, never hurt anybody. We invite them to pick a film that they find overrated or hate. But here's the twist. The film must meet one of these criteria: widely beloved, critically acclaimed, or a financial success. So you can't come on and say, well, Friday the 13th Part 8 is a real turd. Yeah, we know it stinks. So we're giving a platform, right? We're giving a platform for people with unpopular opinions about some of our most popular films. People have tried to come on and take down, and you ready, Ron? You're sitting down, so I don't have to ask you to do that. People have tried to come on and take down Die Hard, Back to the Future, Star Wars.
What?
This week we have Kim Adragna coming on, who came on and did National Lampoon's Vacation. Next week we're taping one guy's.
Okay.
Get ready for
now
this.
You've crossed the line. You don't mess with Vacation. I'm sorry.
Yeah. In fact, but the guests picked the films. But here, Ron, I'm gonna tease this. Next week we're taping one of our friends of the show, Rakes Stakanis. He's coming on because he knows it's my favorite film of all time. He's going to try and take down Caddyshack.
Oh, okay.
Game over, right?
Getting it. Yeah.
Game over.
Take him down.
No problem.
Just make him sure he's tapping out about 5 minutes into the show. All right, my man.
Five. We're going about 2.5. He's not going to make it past that first round, Ron. So yeah, it's on every major podcast platform, and of course on YouTube, so you can see us there. And Fantasy Football Jibber Jabber, we've done what no one else has done, and that's combined fantasy football advice with NFL handicapping and mixed with humor. Because every other show you see out there, all the hosts are just terribly unfunny and laughing over each other's terrible jokes, and they never mix the two. And my co-host Nick Whitmer and I do that with aplomb, I'll say.
Fantastic, man. I love it. It's a nice variety. And you mentioned NFL, and that's what we're going to get to. We're going to talk about this wild card weekend. We're going to pick a few games, and I got to save my picks for the Betting with the Barbers show. But Kevin, I want to hear where you're going with these, because I know you know your stuff. So let's kick things off with how about we go in the AFC with the Miami Dolphins coming in at number 7 and the number 2 seeded Buffalo Bills. I mean, we could go off on them getting that seed and Kansas City getting number 1 for a while, but we're going to just let it play out. That's what happened. Bills number 2, Dolphins number 7. These 2 teams, they actually split during the season with each team winning at home, but it's a different deal here. Buffalo opened up, Kevin, as a -10 favorite. Just checking on superbook.com right now. Some money is coming in on the Dolphins. The Bills are now -9 as the favorites. And as of this recording, we're not sure if Tua is going to go. We're not sure if Teddy Bridgewater is going to go. If either of those guys can't go, well, then we get Skylar Thompson. Get ready. Who do you like in this one, man?
Well, Skylar Thompson's a name that you'd hear slapped around at a country club as someone who owes his daddy a lot of money after crashing the family Mercedes. Let's put it like this, and I've got numbers here. Buffalo, we know that they are just straight up winners. Covering, though, different ball game. Miami, though, they cover against their own conference, 6-1 of the late against the spread against the AFC. But Buffalo, as I said before, straight up, they are 7-0 out of their last 7 games and 11-1 straight up at home. Now, 9.5, 9, as you guys say at Superbook, that's too many points for me. I don't like uncertainty. As the old saying goes, if you have 3 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. I certainly cannot trust Miami. I know the last time they did play Buffalo tight, I had the Buffalo in a teaser and I had to sweat that out to the last minute. I just don't see Miami coming up here and doing what they're supposed to do. I don't see them winning at all. I don't know if they're going to cover, and I certainly don't like the uncertainty with the quarterback situation. So I'm going to cheat. I have Buffalo as one of my 2 teams in a money line parlay because I just don't think I'm not going to say if Miami gets to 10.5, even 11, I'd lean that way, but it's 9 right now. I'm making them half of a money line parlay. I'm not going to get cute. Don't be cute. Just win money. That's gambling rule number 1.
Great point, especially in the playoffs. Don't mess around. Just get it done. Yeah. Superbook.com right now has your Buffalo Bills on the money line as a -450. The comeback on the Dolphins is +375. And yeah, you hit it. Both these teams covering right in the middle of the pack this year. The Dolphins have covered 9 times, and the Buffalo Bills, their record 8-7-1 against the spread. So keep an eye on how this when this game gets closer, how it develops, because this line could move if suddenly that country club guy, Skylar Thompson, or if he drives a golf cart to Buffalo and they bring their heaters and they're sitting up there, this line could move. We could see it go back up to Buffalo. But I like the bet. You're going with the Bills on the money line.
Yeah, I just can't see. Skylar Thompson has about as much the same chance of winning in Buffalo as a Tyler Perry film making me laugh. I just can't see him going in there and getting it done on the road in the cold. So that's half a parlay I've got going on.
Very good. Yeah, it's never a good sign when a team brings the heaters to Southern California like the Dolphins did a few weeks ago. All right, great stuff. Let's move on to game number 2. Let's move into the NFC, where we have the number 3 Vikings taking on the number 6 Tiki Barbers, New York Giants, in a rematch of one of the wildest games of the season that went down on Christmas Eve. That matchup was back and forth, and punt returns, interceptions, and then it all ended with Greg Joseph hitting a 61-yard field goal on the final play. Not shocking. That seems what the Vikings do. But this is the first playoff game in Minneapolis since the miracle in Minneapolis back in 2018. That place is going to be rocking. And right now, this game has not moved much, Kevin. The Vikings opened up as -3 favorites, pretty much just a home favorite. They are still at -3, the over-under 48.5. And the money line has the Vikings at -160, the comeback on the New York Football Giants +140. Who do you like in this matchup?
This happens to be one of my teaser legs this week. Let's talk about some numbers, though. The Giants has always had a house of horrors in Minnesota. 2-8 straight up in years past. I remember multiple times Eli going in there and throwing 4 picks and getting smoked. But new team, new regime. Giants this year 7-1 against the spread on the road. 5-1 against the NFC. This Giant team, as you mentioned before, they got snake bitten. In fact, they had the Minnesota Vikings put out the Lucky Charms leprechaun, a horseshoe, and the ghost of Spuds McKenzie with the luckiest of 61-yard field goals. I had the Giants and the points, plus the over as well. Hit that. Thank you. But the Giants are no stranger to getting beaten by 50-yarders plus with no time left. Graham Gano against Carolina, Elliott on Philly, and then you meant the aforementioned Greg Joseph. Vikings are the luckiest proven team. And the stats will show the Giants are the second luckiest team. Minnesota is a paper tiger. They have just the absolute luckiest team, covering by next to nothing. Their points for, points against are virtually even. That is insane. I went on ahead and I said, you know what? And the Giants, by the way, last time outgained the Vikings from the yards of scrimmage. I teased the Giants to +10. They are not going to get blown out. I think they can even win a little back nugget in their pocket. Kirk Cousins is a monster at home at 1:00. What time's the game on Sunday?
That is
4:30.
4:30
Yep.
game.
Out of his comfort zone. I'm taking the
At
Giants.
least it's not at night. That's when he really craps the bed.
Yeah. +10 for the Giants. I really think they can possibly win this game. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the money line, but I teased it up to +10. I just do not see them losing by double digits if they're going to lose. They're going to hang tight. They got a good defense. They rested everybody. I was very surprised that Daboll rested the entire squad. I know he talked to Coughlin last week, and we all know what Tom Coughlin did that last game against the Patriots back in 2008. But everybody's rested. All the guys on defense are rested. Obviously, Barkley gets a breather. I like what I'm going to see out of this team. And hell, they even stuck it close with the Eagles on Sunday, surprising me big time by playing a tight game.
It should be a lot of fun, a great matchup if it lives up to the hype and even comes close to what these two teams did on Christmas Eve. This is going to be a great game to check out. 4:30 p.m. Eastern. You're right. What's crazy to me, Kevin, is that you look at both these teams and you nailed it. I mean, Tiki Barber has killed it with the Giants this year. The best record against.
You mean Barkley, Saquon Barkley, not Tiki Barber. He retired 20 years ago.
No,
Almost.
Tiki on our show has been picking. Yeah.
I didn't catch
Tiki's
it.
back,
Sorry.
man. He could still run with Barkley. No, Tiki's picked with the Giants against the spread almost all season long, and they have the best record against the spread, 13-4, where the Vikings just say kind of pedestrian 7-9-1. But who knows? Maybe they will bring Tiki back and just put him and Saquon in the backfield. Should be a lot of fun to see those two. But no, it's these two teams. It blows my mind. They have been outscored by their opponents this season. Usually when you get outscored by your opponents, you're not going to the playoffs. But here we are with a number 3 seed and a number 6 seed. It should be an interesting matchup. The key, I'm with you, is the spotlight on Kirk Cousins. Can he have a big game? Daniel Jones making his first start in the playoffs. We will see. Kevin likes those New York Giants in a teaser.
Right.
All right, good pick. Let's move on and let's just hit on the Monday night game, Kevin. The Dallas Cowboys, number 5 seed. They are going to travel to the below 500 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This one is right now, according to Superbook.com, you've got the Buccaneers as a home favorite at home underdog at +3. The visiting Cowboys, they come in, they are the favorite at a -3. A lot of people, Kevin, right now are talking about the Bucs as a very live underdog in this one. The over/under, as I check it out, 45.5, and money is coming in on the Bucs. They're down to now +2.5, Kevin. So let's go with that line. Bucs +2.5 at home, Dallas -2.5 on the road, over under 45.5, and the money line on those Cowboys is -145, and the comeback on the Bucs +125. Who you picking in this one?
I really have to consider a tease in this game because I trust Mike McCarthy in the playoffs as much as I trust him to guard a buffet at the Golden Corral.
Oh,
He has been terrible. I have made a lot of money betting against Mike McCarthy in the playoffs. But here's the problem, though, Ron, is that Tampa Bay offensive line is a mess. Dallas just got their doors beaten off last Sunday in a meaningless game. On the starters went the entire distance, it seemed like. I think they played the entire game. They got smoked. The last thing you want to do is bet against a team that just got embarrassed, especially on national TV. But again, you also have to account for Tom Brady at home and, of course, with the refs. Because, listen, we all know When Tom Brady walks on the field, the first warm-up exercise he does is neck rolls when he looks for the flags in the field after every pass he throws. So I just, if I would take it, I'd lean Dallas -2.5. I'm debating, but I'm really strongly considering teasing Tampa to over 8.5 and getting and catching the points that way. I think it'll be close, and I think I'm going to tease Tampa. Now, who am I going to tease them with? Who would I pair them with? I already paired one of my teasers, so I'm going to give you the other half of my teaser leg, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals are a freight train. You talked about the Giants being cover machines. Number 2 isn't covering the Cincinnati Bengals. They're on fire, 5-1 against the spread in January. They're 7-1 in their last 8, 8-0 straight up in their last 8, 6-0 at home straight up. And I'm teasing them 2+1. I got early. They're laying 6. I had to do a 7-point teaser to get the Giants to 10. Normally you don't tease through 0, but again, I had to use the Giants for the 7-pointer to get them to 10. So Giants +10, Cincy +1, and I love that. And I think I'll pair Cincy with Tampa Bay later on. Again, I can't take that game straight. I don't like McCarthy, but then again, I'm also worried about the Dallas defense attacking that Tampa Bay offensive line.
Yeah, there are so many different elements in that game too. I said it last week with the Barbers that I would never bet against Tom Brady in a big game again. And what did I do? I took the Carolina Panthers and went against Brady in a big game. And we all know how that worked out.
Rough one. I've made some money betting against Tom Brady. Those just happened to be both New York Giants Super Bowls a couple years back. That was fun.
Oh,
especially as a Giants fan, that was great.
Absolutely. Hey, little nugget. The Cowboys are 0-7 all time against Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady. That includes a week 1 loss where Tampa Bay did beat Dallas 19-3. I love those teasers. I'm with you. Cincinnati, I've been riding them for quite some time. They are just behind the New York Football Giants with the best record against the spread this season. They came in with a 12-4 record against the spread. I like Cincinnati a lot in that game as well. Teasing them down makes a lot of sense. Well, Kevin, great stuff tonight. Love it. It's going to be a fun weekend with 6 games. We got a couple on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and then we top it off with the Monday Night Football on Monday. Give us just an idea where people can find you and just plug the show once again.
Sure. I'd like to also finish up that parlay I mentioned. I was going to take the Buffalo Bills in the parlay, and I paired them with the San Francisco 49ers. I think they're just going to boat race Seattle for obvious reasons. Seattle, 1-7 in their last 8. They're 0-5 against the NFC teams. I think the Niners are just going to beat their brains in. Niners 10-0 in their last 10 games, 7-1 against the spread. So Niners, Buffalo parlay, Giants, and Bengals plus Bengals and Giants teaser. Where can you find me? You can find me at Kevin Gootee on Twitter. It's KevinGootee on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Gutting the Sacred Cow podcast at GTSC podcast on Twitter. And of course, on all podcast platforms every week, brand new episode, and on YouTube and in the Facebook metaverse for fantasy football jibber jabber. Right now, I'm just doing out a daily fantasy lineup because obviously fantasy championships are over. And we're just going to talk about bets from there on out. So you can check that out in the Facebook metaverse in the joke community room. So give that a look. And this was fun, Ron. Hopefully you'll have me back again soon. I'd love to talk more betting with you in the weeks to come.
Absolutely. Great job, man. I got to ask you, so who's your team? Who do you follow? Where's the heart with?
I'm a Giants fan. I'm a Yankees, Giants, and Rangers fan. Right down party lines. Being I'm from Central Jersey, I live up North Jersey, right by the city. So,
all right. Well, your Giants got a big one. I know you're going to be watching. Going to be a lot of fun. Been a long time since your Giants been in the playoffs, my man.
6 years.
Enjoy it.
Thank you.
All right, Kevin. Great job. We appreciate it. And that's going to do it for this edition of Superbook Sports.